Quick snap.
Hey guys, thanks for checking this out. First time I'm going to actually be talking about a play from the NFL. The full house pistol that the Chiefs used against the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship. The Bills in a 4-2, 4-4 type alignment. Really caught my attention because it conflicts the defense quite a bit. And having been a defensive coordinator, like, I'm very willing to concede, yeah, there's flow going to the right, there's flow going to the left. That is challenging to defend, in my opinion. I think any defensive coordinator would agree. And what really got me thinking is, what if, for instance, maybe the Ravens, with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, what if you're facing an opponent where both that quarterback and that running back are really good players? What are ways you can actually defend it a little bit more successfully than what the Bills necessarily did?
So I want to start off and admit, I understand I don't coach in the NFL. I don't coach in college level. But I have coach run fits against option, and ultimately I think you have to treat this like option football. And the point of the clip is not to criticize coaching. It's to show where there's the breakdown that lets the Chiefs get easy touchdowns. So pay attention. Number 50 at defensive end, number 58 at inside linebacker, number 24 at the safety. You see number 50 sits. He's making sure the ball's given. Number 58 is scraping with the flow of the tight ends. So there's nobody forcing this double team. That guard is looking for that inside linebacker. He's in no hurry to leave this, so they get to stay on that double team a little bit longer. Double team is effective, 24. Can't make the one-on-one tackle. Tackling too high. And even if he does, that's a 5 or 6 yard gain. So the issues on this play, and we'll let it play through. Inside linebacker and defensive end, they're both playing the potential keep. And that leaves a one-on-one with 24, and that's not great leverage. So there's a touchdown. Next clip has some different personnel. New defensive end, number 94 is in. The defensive structure is the same. The reads are definitely different if you watch the play closely. So now, key idea, watch 94 and 58. 94, he's flat out chasing. He is not surfing / he is chasing the give. And 58 hesitates. He bounces in place. So those two guys, like that defensive end and inside linebacker, I'll show you, needs to be on the same page. And that puts him chasing down the quarterback. He's just not fast enough to close that space as the on-block defender. Number 3 is blocked by the first tight end. Second tight end gets 24. 58's on-blocked, and he's out-leveraged for another touchdown. And the last clip before we get into me talking about defending it is the Bills, unfortunately, gave up the score the week before against the Ravens. Same concept. Number 40 at defensive end. Closes down space. Lamar is able to out-leverage him. Buffalo's in a too high look here. And bottom line, they got the first tight end takes the outside linebacker. Second tight end has the safety, and touchdown Ravens.
First, what the Bills did on the first particular play, the left defensive end, he sat, forced to give. All right, cool. I think that's sound. They got 5 blockers going that way and a ball carrier. There are 6 box defenders right now. So I like that. Downside is the Bills appear to be cover 1. The down defender, whether he's nickel, outside linebacker, I don't know his exact position. That's not relevant. That guy's manned up on his near back. He went and chased it. The opposite potential force defender, he was apparently manned up. He went and chased that. Okay, now it's 5 on 5. Well, it appears, if you go watch the film, that safety ended up spying. So as the back followed this, he showed up and actually misses a tackle that could have stopped it for a touchdown. Downside of, I think, relying on a free safety to spy is the fact that that's a long run for a safety, and to me, that's probably going to be a 5-yard gain. Also, if you look on the clip that they scored the touchdown to the Trey side. That backside middle linebacker, he hesitates and follows the bluff flow by the two tight ends. He follows that for a half second. So this double team really gets to pound this. That back was able to stay really tight on the carry. This guy's got to see, like, you got to distinguish who's going to play the give, who's going to play the keep between. I think it's these two defenders that end up being the most important. And I'll share how I would play it after we talk about the Bills real fast. Bottom line, if this guy is forcing the give, your inside linebacker, marry him to that guard read or marry him to the running back and tell him, hey, go fix your A-gap. You see the A-gap closing? This guy right here had a snap chance to snipe the play probably for about a 2-yard gain, 3-yard gain if you go back and watch the play. So now the other way, the Bills ended up covering it or trying to fit it. They had the defensive end chase. Okay? So he's chasing, and this was the Mahomes touchdown, the later touchdown. And when he chased, what they appeared to do, the force defender on the left side, he's going to leverage this. Actually, does a good job leveraging that. And now this guy hesitates, does absolutely nothing. Ends up being inconsequential, never gets blocked in the play. Actually, he ends up chasing it. And the safety comes down, he gets blocked, run over for the touchdown. So, once again, you had both, that backside linebacker and that backside defensive line, both of them played the Trey side, the give side, which put 2-on-2 plus the ball carrier at quarterback. So, defense probably going to lose that, assuming the offense can use their blocks. So, the ways I would do it. Number one, we got to communicate what is that defensive end going to do. So, as I alluded to, if I want to make sure the running back runs the ball and we just get 6 defenders on 5 blockers, there's ultimately 6 offense players going over there. If you count the running back, you need to match it with 6. So, all right, sit, surf, but definitely sit on the quarterback. Don't go chase this play. These 6 guys, if you're operating from an even structure, if you like this video and want to know how I do it out of odd structure, please let me know. All right. I prefer a spill here. Make that ball carrier go wider. Your force defender can fit it. He's in the backside A gap, B gap, step to A gap. If you get a run through, take it. If you don't, you are outside the polar. The wheel is inside the polar, meaning the tackle on his insert. He got all the gaps taken care of. One of those guys should be on block. There's only 5 blockers for 6 guys. If I want the running back carrying the ball, if I wanted the defense to do that, that's the game plan, is the quarterback's the bigger threat or the home run threat potentially. Fit it that way. Meanwhile, I've got to play force over here. Whatever you call that guy, nickel, Sam outside linebacker, stud outside linebacker, strong safety. I got to play force. I've got to pick up the second receiver as the free safety, so that way if some sort of play action comes, we're sound. Okay? So that's the first way I would play it if we want the running back carrying the ball. Okay, if I don't want the running back carrying the ball, I want to maybe get chances to get hits on the quarterback, and it's truly being read out. Now, we're going to chase. If I'm going to chase, to me, that middle linebacker has to know that defensive end is chasing. Just does. So he is going to be a scrape replace guy. He has to ignore the guard pull, the tackle pull. So that way, numbers get equated here. The rest of these 5 will match those 5 plus the running back, but the running back shouldn't have the ball. The running back should not have the ball because the DN's chasing, he's going to tackle it. So still the same fit here. You need to be outside leverage on everything, force it back. So again, that middle linebacker, safety is keying the flow of the backfield because these guys are keying the line per se. He is in the middle of the alley. He is in the inside of the alley. We got 3 players, or 1, 2, 3 gaps that the offense is creating, pulling both tight ends over there on the bluff, the escort blocks, whatever you want to call those. And that's how I would fit it. And now this is forcing the quarterback to be the guy carrying the ball. We're taking the running back out of the game. That is the one thing that I think coaches need to realize. Based on how you're going to play your defensive end and your inside linebacker, that determines who the option is going to go to if the offense is indeed truly reading out the play. And then lastly, the reason I would never, personally, I don't love cover 1. I just haven't been taught it, I guess, well enough to understand. It doesn't make sense for me to have this guy run all the way over here. It just doesn't. And the reason I would not chase all the way over there with the force defender from the right side is, number 1, his job's to be on that side of the field. And then number 2, I have been an offensive coordinator for the past 3 years, and we run some triple options. So like, just because Trey's drawn up here, a team could potentially be going inside zone on this, and everything's looking the same, and there's your dive key. There's their dive key. Meanwhile, they got 2 escorts, one to bracket the flow from the middle, the other one to take the force defender. Okay? Well, that's something we have not done it out of, the team I coach, we didn't do it out of a full house pistol, but something that we would do if we wind up in full house pistol, something that I know we would do if we're doing this. So we're going to take and do our pass pro. Again, this is us inside zoning mostly. So there's our pass pro more or less. A half slide, back, go fit. We would take, especially since out of this set, typically you're going to get man coverage. That's the corners, even if you go cover 3, they're kind of responsible for the deep outside third. Put that corner in a bind and make him figure out what he wants to do. Now, in theory, and that's why I'm going to talk about this play action real quick, because I think that's the other important part, and the other part of ultimately what an offense is trying to do to a defense is, what is the complementary play that goes with this? So we would run a vert switch play action. So number 1 would be working to get into the end zone on about an 8 break at about 7 or 8 yards, running a slant, and then we would wheel this guy here. Ultimately, the first read is that corner. If the corner goes with that post, this is so the wheel's open. The safety's never probably going to make that run on that wheel. That's a long ways to go. The quarterback leads into the pylon. The corner goes with that slant here. The defense is in a bad spot. So that's and then okay. So what's that got to do with the force defender on that side? Well, our other route. All right, let's say the corner zones his third, so the wheel's dead. He's covered. The safety is key and flow. He sees that wheel, he covers that. So next issue is right here. That second guy on the escort would be leaking out to the flats. Anytime we ran vert switch, we always had that flat route as a check on. Well, if you manned it up and had him running, he's never getting there. Him running with the wheel, that's not convenient. So I do think the defense gets their best pattern match that matches up a run fit. If this guy sits, all right, the wheel's going out, he alerts the corner drops to his deep third, safety drops to his deep third, and you have the arrow route, the split arrow route matched by the force defender. And meanwhile, these guys are making sure, you know, that if the offense does this right and it's good play action pro and they don't show a hi-hat right away, which they shouldn't, these 6 guys are not going to tell the difference fast enough to be able to go cover a route in the flats over there. Outside of maybe the inside linebacker could help out on that in certain downs and situations. He might get there a little bit faster if that's something that's really big in a team's game plan. So some thoughts for, again, the run fit. Really emphasize, these 2 guys got to be on the same pitch. They can't both play the give. They can't both play the keep. Otherwise, the offense is going to gain numbers somewhere. If if the quarterback makes the right decision, defense is not in a good spot. So those are my ideas and thoughts on run fitting full house pistol with tray blocking and double bluff escort going the other way.
Thanks for checking out this quick snap on Coaching Football with Brian Klee. Please follow me on Twitter at Coach Klee. Subscribe to the channel, Coaching Football with Brian Klee, by clicking down below. And if you have any further follow-up questions, email me at coachbrianklee@gmail.com.